gotten a lot of messages that are like, you know, this Epstein email where they say that Trump gave a job to Bill Clinton. And they say like, oh, I can't wait to see what you do with this. And I'm like, what more do you need? The current president f***ed off a former one, and you need me to add to that shit? I'm not Donald Trump. I don't know how to top that. And then with the email, he said, like, does Putin have the picture of Trump and Bubba? And people were like, well, Bubba's Clinton. But then today, like, Mark Epstein, Jeffrey's brother, who I guess is just hanging around, I mean, not like Jeffrey, but he wrote an email that was like, oh no, Bubba was not referencing Bill Clinton. That's like, oh, fun. That's what I mean. That's what people say. That's, you know, hey, well, it's not true. So this guy, we can't say it anymore. Why? I mean, Donald Trump still claims that you know the 2020 election was stolen. You know, so why can't, you know? I think every time he says the election was rigged, he'd be like, and you swallowed.
Oh, the comedians are at it now with the Bubba news breaking.
Trump filleted Bill Clinton? What? How are the history books going to explain that? To children? You're really going to have to use some euphemisms. I got a few ideas for you. They could say he worked with Democrats to create more jobs. He went south of Little Rock, Arkansas. He learned how to play Bill's saxophone. He Lewinsky's boss. He got the willies. I know you guys don't like that one. Just like Hillary's emails, he was a private server. No, come on. He did it for Israel. He gave him the Iron Dome. When they asked Bill Clinton to comment on what happened with Trump, he's going to be like, I did not have sexual relations with this former president.
Show favorite Sammy Obeid weighed in.
They're like, hey, what about the Epstein stuff? I was like, are we still talking about this Jeffrey Epstein guy? Are we still talking about this? Yeah, it seems kind of important. Imagine some guy f***ed your kid, and then 5 years later, you're like, hey, any leads? Any leads on the guy who f***ed my kid? And they're like, we still talking about this? Still talking about this? That was 5 years ago. Finding the guy's not gonna make your kid's butthole any tighter, alright? What's done is done! It's in the past. Now let's talk about these Mexicans.
It's almost demanded to be in their sets at this point.
An interview that came out where Epstein was talking about Trump for like 3 hours. They asked Epstein, what do you think of Trump? And he said, Trump has no moral compass. Do you know how shit of a human being you have to be for Jeffrey Epstein to say you have no moral compass? That's like him saying, you know, I kids, but something's wrong with that guy.
For clarity, this is true. Epstein did say that.
I remember when I was a teenager, I wasn't allowed to hook up with girls with the door closed. Mind you, I wasn't like hooking up with girls all the time. Like I probably had 3 girls over in high school. Like 3 individual times. So when they would come over, it would be a big occasion. I'd be psyched. I'd be like, oh yeah. And my parents wouldn't let me close the door. And then we'd fight. He'd be like, you guys are kids. This girl's 15 years old. He's like, if you want to mess around in my house, you're going to have to mess around with the door open. I was like, damn, that's stupid. I'm basically an adult. And he was like, no, you're not. But when that day comes, if you can afford to buy your own private island and a plane to fly down multiple U.S. presidents, you can mess around with as many 15-year-olds as you want.
And that is a goddamn from Julio.
I've never seen Trump sweat this much. Which is a crazy thing to say because he's fat. Did anybody else not feel weird how he was like trying to distract us all week from him being a pedophile? Nobody else? Y'all remember? He was like, Obama's a criminal. He's like, Rosie O'Donnell's fat. I killed Hulk Hogan. Like he was just doing everything. I was like, bro.
Shout out to Ashton Womack on this one.
Did you see there was another Epstein list that came out today? Oh my God. And I don't know. I like it when the Epstein lists are leaked. It's nice to see some bipartisanship. This one was like back when they kept paper records of everyone who like left a voicemail for everyone who had called and left a voicemail for Jeffrey Epstein. And I don't know. People assume that if you did that, you must have been involved in the child trafficking, because that's what he did. But I don't know if that's necessarily true. My dad, he's left me a lot of voicemails, and he's never seen my stand-up comedy.
This is especially traumatic for me because I was actually on the island with them. Yeah, I was one of the boys on the island, and it was pretty tough, to make things go by and make it a little easier. We used to sing. That's how we got through it. And, to honor our time on the island, I'd like to sing that song for you guys right now. I'm an island boy, just trying to make it. Said I'm an island boy, I'm a Jakiwaiguan. And that's as far as we got. We were pretty busy the rest of the time. I know, sometimes I'll perform in front of the White House and the Capitol and stuff. And people will be like, are you scared? Are you scared to perform in front of the Capitol and the White House? I'm a white man. Like, these buildings were made in my honor. Are you kidding me? This is an example of using white privilege for good. Because I think, nothing's really going to happen. Yeah, no, I'm actually pretty famous on TikTok. Because I'm sure, as you guys can tell, I'm good for about 15 seconds at a time.
Comedian John Jacobs has also been a fixture on here for his set. Support his work if you can.
You're in an uproar off the Epstein list? That's all you've got? It's really, really surprising that this matters. Of course, I think there's a list, but I don't know. I suspect, but I have no knowledge, nor do I care. It's Friday night. I'm getting ready to go out and enjoy myself. I'm getting ready to have a nice weekend. I could give a damn about the Epstein client list. It has no effect on me whatsoever. I have a life. I don't understand for the life of me why this matters so much to these. I'm talking about people losing it. They're crying on camera. They're talking about resignations. They're pissed off about everything. I'm like, really? With all the stuff going on in this country, with all the power that you've possessed because of the cachet and the influence you have because of your connection to this administration, that's why you upset at Trump? I didn't blame Trump one bit for looking at them and saying, really? That really matters to you? That's really that important? Mm-hmm. Now, maybe he had a different reason for saying it, trying to be evasive or whatever. I don't know. But I do know this. In the grand scheme of things, it ain't going to affect the lives of over 200 to 300 million Americans. No. I think we'll be just fine without knowing whether or not there was really a client list. I think we'll be okay. It's unbelievable that this is a big deal to me. It really is.
But just remember, Stephen A. Smith could quite literally care less. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYTsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.